I'll start off by saying just it's a heck of a basketball game. And that was one as a coach, you know. I made a comment, and please take this the right way, but I'm not making a comparison. But I guess what did Pete Rose say to Sparky after Fisk hit the home run? Wish they could play that game back. That was a game that was just exciting game to play in and coach in, and that's what college basketball is about. Really impressed with Memphis. They came in 14th, I think, in terms of offensive pace, and ran the shot clock down almost every possession. So they hadn't played like that all year. So they came in with a completely different game plan that we took a while to get accustomed to, and took a while to adjust to. And I thought that was a big part of the game. But you know, really appreciative of our fan base, kind of putting us over the edge there after being down 10 plus with 6 to go, I think, and then down 7 with 3 to go. And their energy really helped. You know, I thought each one of, I think the statement for our team was every single player impacted the game tonight. Jeremiah, I mean, I could go down the list. Every player came in the game and impacted the game. And, you know, it's hard to do sometimes when you don't play a lot, or you don't have the minutes you want to have because I only got like 200 minutes to go around. And I was really proud of the guys that came in and stepped in. And again, I go back to handling adversity. Our guys handled adversity, and I'm sure we'll get into some individual guys here as we go. But great team effort against an unbelievable team tonight in a raucous environment.
How proud are you of Trey? Back-to-back games to put the effort and ability he's shown.
I mean, to make those 2 free throws and then to make the play at the end and get 19 rebounds, you got to be high character to do that. And that's what Trey is. Trey's a high character guy. I've always said he's the most physically conditioned athlete I've coached, and he keeps showing. I mean, just his motor never stops. And, you know, we want to bring men in this program that we got to pull back, not push forward. He's the perfect example of a guy you got to pull back instead of push forward.
Speaking of that, how do you get Jeremiah Davenport to come out of his shell and shoot it when you put him in the game?
Yeah, he's a pretty confident young man. When we signed him, I told our staff, we'll have to pull him back instead of pushing forward. He's the definition of the type of young man we want in terms of energy.
But a perfect guy to learn from Trey, right?
Yeah, a lot of similarities.
So I'm sure you know when you put him in there, he's going to fire it up if he catches it, and you seem okay with that.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Yeah.
He's going to fire it up. But he's also going to get an offensive rebound when your team's, you know, up against it, get a 3-point play. He's going to make a loose ball, and he did those things.
Preparing for a guy like Precious Achua, obviously you guys did really well through the first half. Second half, you got a little hot there. Is that something where it's just kind of like you let him have it because you know how good he is, or is that something where it just kind of happens with his skill level?
Yeah, we didn't let him have it. You know, the number 11, and it really hurt us in the first half, and so did Ellis. It really hurt us in the first half. So we put a little more focus on them in the second half, and Achua got going a little bit. Achua didn't have a great game first game. In the first half, it was Trey Scott. You know, I've said it from the beginning, and I'm going to keep harping on this guy's the best defender in the league. Okay, so I hope people realize that, but you know, there's a reason Precious is going to have a 15-plus year NBA career. I mean, he's an elite player, and you don't keep those guys down the entire time.
Penny just said the end of the game came down to rebounding, which sounded a lot like you up at UConn. How nice is it to, within a span of one game, sort of fix the things that were bothering you most after the last game?
It did. I mean, Trey Scott got 7, Chris Cook got 3. We had 15 offensive rebounds as a team. You know, Keith had a big one at the end. Jaron had a big one at the end. I mean, we made some plays when we needed to make them, and part of that was on the offensive glass.
Talking about college basketball, just games that are tough to win. Games that mean a lot come mid-March maybe. How tough is it to win a game like this? I mean, UC wins a lot at home against conference opponents, but down by 10 late, to win the way that these guys did tonight, how tough is that?
It's extremely difficult, and it's not something we want to do all the time, but again, give credit to your opponent. I mean, they put us in those positions. Now, our 2 leading scorers got 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes of the game, okay? So that completely threw off our rotation. So now you got a team coming in with a game plan that they've never done before, and you've got 2 players in your rotation, 2 of your best players, who are on the bench. So your rotations are all messed up. You got guys at different positions. Trey Scott's playing the 5. We're doing different stuff. And we were a little discombobulated until we got to halftime. And so give credit to our guys. They figured out a way. And I thought we did a good job of sustaining defensively in order to stay in the game. They could have easily got up 10 or 11 in the first half and then pushed it in the second half. The game been over. But our bench came in and sustained it defensively, kept us going the right direction. I can't harp on enough. Those guys getting in foul trouble and the change of game plan, those are 2 major curveballs for our team that we had to handle.
How important was the 1-3-1 at the end of the first half to maybe Didn't look like it changed energy, changed momentum a little
It
bit.
was really important until we gave up a 3 on the last possession.
Yeah.
But it was, no, there's no question, it was extremely important. And, we knew we'd have to play it when we're dealing with bigger guys because we're a little thin in the post. Plus, the 1-3-1 protects you against fouls, so I had Cumberland and Jaron in the game, and I could put him in the middle of it knowing he's probably not going to foul in the zone.
And then how about their boxing one in the second half?
Yeah.
Unexpected.
It was very unexpected. I hadn't seen it all season. Again, another thing you hadn't seen all season. So we had to make some adjustments to it. The guys are running around, Coach, what are they? They're in boxing one. And so, our flow game can go against boxing ones. And then what we start doing is running a lot of high middle flats. So it just takes a while to get accustomed to it once we got it. We haven't worked on a boxing one all season, even in practice.
Teams ever do that on Drew at NKU at all?
No, not really.
No.
It's tough to do on a post player because they don't bring the ball to court.
What's the philosophy there for you against the defense?
Other guys make shots. That's the first philosophy.
Yeah.
The second thing is to make sure that you utilize that guy as a screener and a guy as a ball rotation guy, and then attack gaps and not fall in love with jump shots.
Is that why you have Micah bringing it up so you could get Jaron off to the side?
Obviously wasn't Jaron's best game, but pretty big play going at Precious in overtime, getting and one and get him fouled
I
out.
didn't realize he was 1 for 7. Yeah, he was great. He just makes the right decisions. So he's getting in the lane. He went 1 for 7. I thought he played great. I really did. From my perspective, he did. He did the things he needed to do to win.
John, how much is this a game, you talked about other guys stepping up in the game flow, coming in messed up, where you can kind of see these guys, in practice they can play, but out here in a spot like this, where you're like, we can ride with these guys the way they play tonight?
There's no question. And I believe any of our guys I can ride with them because I believe in our guys. I mean, Keith Williams, he didn't play necessarily great, and then I sat him for quite a bit of time, and he didn't put his head down, he didn't complain, he came out and he played awesome the last 3 minutes and had the big dunk and the big offensive rebound and a steal. I believe in all our guys, and the veteran guys are the ones that understand it the most, and they've been through it, and those are the guys we're going to ride. But I have no problem with it. We had 2 freshmen on the floor in a nationally televised game that we had to have against Memphis, and we rode with them. So.
Have you ever had a player like Keith who can score at the rim the way he does? It's different than even just like a big guy dunking.
Yeah, he feels like a big guy at times, the way he finishes. His balance is just tremendous, and now he's making free throws. So he's a great finisher at the rim, and Jaron gets those guys the ball where they like it.
Micah with career high 14. How critical was he when you didn't have Jaron and Chris in
He's
the
plus
first half?
21,
Yeah.
plus minus. Tough. He's not a freshman. When it's mid-February, you're not a freshman anymore. He's logged a lot of minutes, and he understands what it takes. And I thought he was really, really good tonight.
Is that maybe him looking to be a little more aggressive on offense finally, or was it just situational?
I think it was situational a little bit. He was, the way they were playing, he was getting open shots, and I thought he felt it a little bit. The one I think that you're returning to probably is the penetration.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of that penetration lately. We need to see more of that because, Trey Scott's going to get 20 and 25. Jaron Cumberland gets a lot of attention. Chris Boak gets a lot of attention. It opens up things for other guys, and Trey's taking advantage of it. So now the team's got to decide, okay,
Right.
do I want to put this much attention on this guy? That's what happens when you have a balanced scoring attack. If you only have one guy, then everybody can load against you. If you have a balanced scoring, then you can win games like this because other guys can step up because they've done it throughout the season.
You referenced those 2 free throws by Trey at the end of regulation. That possession got pretty wild.
I don't even remember the possession.
It was kind of going back and forth. You obviously had timeouts. You chose not to call
Oh,
them.
yeah. That's because they were in the box and one. So I do remember now. There's no place you can draw up against the box and one. So there was no way I was calling a timeout. If I would have called a timeout, they would have been happy I called a timeout because they would have been able to set the defense again. We had the defense scrambling, so I let them make plays.
How hard is that, though, when you guys are scrambling a little bit, too, and you have timeouts to kind of sit on them?
It's not hard on me. It's just the fact that you're going to question me and the fans are going to question me, but I know it's the right decision.
John, you stay so oddly calm. I don't want to say freakishly calm, but it's just how calm you stay is impressive. Do you have to go in a private room and punch a wall somewhere before the rest of the media and team sees you?
I'm a firm believer that when chaos is around you, the guys look over a lot, and when if there's a calmness there, then they can at least take something from that. We conquer the chaos every day. I don't need to add to the chaos. Okay, the fans, the other team, they provide enough of it. So I just try to make sure. And plus, I like to think things through. And if it's chaotic, I can't think those things through.
You competed against them twice now. What are your impressions of Penny as the guy that's leading that Memphis program in terms of getting these young guys to compete?
Yeah, I was impressed watching Tate leading it. To get them to defend the way he does is hard. That's why I've always been impressed with what Cal's done. You know, to get these guys to do that at that young of age is not easy. And they have to continue to do it. That's the route they're going to take. That's challenging. That's exhausting. And for them to come in with the game plan they had, they did exactly what they needed to do to win.
Are there dog days in a college basketball season? And are you in them now, kind of calm before the storm or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it depends. There are. I think it depends where your team's at. You know, my teams before that have won multiple championships, a lot of dog days because it was like, okay, you know, one bid lead, let's just get to the tournament, coach. Okay, we've done this before. We've already won the regular season. Let's just get to the tournament. You know, this team's obviously won championships, but they understand the, you know, the expediency that's involved in our season right now and our need to win games. I do feel that in the course of the prep during the week, that the dog days are here. It's interesting you asked that question. I felt it a little bit before the game tonight. So we've got to do a good job of keeping things fresh and doing a good job of counting on our veterans to make the right decisions during the course of the week.
What do knees and legs feel like this time of year?
Well, if you ask the guys, they're exhausted because they know we're practice tomorrow. But I'm firm. Basically, what we've done in our preseason conditioning is prepare them for this.
Right.
I told the guys all the time we would ascend the style of play. You'll ascend into March, and I firmly believe that.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.